Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Christensen, and I am privileged to serve as Dean of the Bobby B. Lyle School of Engineering here at SMU. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I am very pleased to welcome you to the 2022 Lyle School of Engineering Commencement Ceremony. Today marks a very special achievement in the lives of our students, and yes, their families and friends as well. To offer the invocation for today's commencement ceremony, let me invite to the podium Mr. Jim Dees. The audience should please rise.
Good afternoon. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and mortarboards. Let us give thanks. Creator of all that is seen and unseen, all that is known and unknown, all that is and is yet to come, we gather together on this day of celebration. We are grateful for these graduates who are present on this long-anticipated day to mark an end to this phase of their educational journeys. While we observe this day as the completion of a major life milestone, help our graduates and all of us to acknowledge that this is not an end, but a beginning. The world is a place of beauty and wonder, but it is also a place facing immense challenges. As we look optimistically to return to a post-pandemic existence, we pray that this graduating class is well prepared to face our current and future challenges with energy and creativity, realizing that their decisions and actions will impact the lives of people they will never know. Thank you for patient parents, spouses, and families who sacrificed spending personal time with these graduates as they engaged in study. Thank you for faculty who mentor, challenge, and forge new paths of knowledge. Thank you for staff who work tirelessly to navigate through tedious processes and attend to all the details. But mostly today, we give thanks for these graduates whose hard work, hours of study, and commitment to the betterment of the world provides the occasion on which we gather today to celebrate their achievements. May we always be mindful of our responsibility as we are tasked to be good stewards of this planet we call home. Hear our prayers this day and always. Amen.
Will everyone please be seated? Let me now introduce several members of our faculty and staff, some of whom will participate in today's ceremony. If you would please hold your applause until all of them have been introduced. And will each participant please rise and be recognized as I read your name. Volkan Atagan, Senior Associate Dean. Dee Dee Conway, Associate Dean of Operations. Jim Dees, Assistant Dean of Assessment, Data, and Graduate Studies. Kathy Hubbard, Assistant Dean of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Khaled Abdelghani, Interim Chair of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Jia Zhang, Interim Chair of the Department of Computer Science. Dinesh Rajan, Chair of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. David Willis, Associate Chair of the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Sila Setankaya, Chair of the Department of Operations, Research, and Engineering Management. Jessica Burnham, Director of the Design and Innovation Programs. Misty Compton, Director of Undergraduate Advising and Student Records. Maya Jaigiani, Director of Development. And finally, I would like to thank the marshals for today's ceremony. Ilana Borzova, Lecturer in Mechanical Engineering. Carlos Davila, Associate Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Michael Hostler, Clinical Associate Professor of Computer Science. And we are also pleased to have today, here at this ceremony, our namesake and trustee, Dr. Bobby Lyle, and David Huntley, trustee, and Dr. Michael Heitz, SMU's Chief Information Officer and proud parent of Lyle graduates today. Please join me in recognizing these individuals. I'd now like to recognize a number of our retiring faculty members. Please stand as your name is announced. Jim Dunham. Professor Dunham retires as Professor Emeritus of Electrical and Computer Engineering after 37 years of service to SMU. Panos Papamakalis. Professor Papamakalis retires as Professor Emeritus of Electrical and Computer Engineering after 17 years of service to SMU. One of the most important traditions of the Lyle Schools of Engineering's graduation ceremony is the senior address. The graduating students selected to address today's commencement audience represent the very best of SMU and the Lyle School of Engineering. Our first is Cassie Hammond. Cassie is from Van Alstyne, Texas, and today receives a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering with a biomedical specialization and a minor in biology. Cassie was a member of the Society of Women Engineers, the Alpha Lambda Delta National Honor Society, and Secretary of the Women in Science and Engineering, as well as being co-president of the founding vice president of the External Affairs for Biomedical Engineering Society. While at SMU, Cassie was an Organic Chemistry Achievement Award winner, recipient of the E.H. Flack Award, the Mechanical Outstanding Student Undergraduate Award, and an SMU Outstanding Senior Woman finalist. Cassie has conducted nanopore research through the Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship Program, which resulted in her publishing a paper in RSC Advances. I give you Cassie.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I have to give all the credit for my success to God, but I also want to give a big thanks to my family and friends. Each of you deserves a speech unto yourself, but I didn't think Dean Christensen would let me stand up here and sing your praises all night, so I'll just keep it at this. You mean the world to me. You've put up with me since day one, and you've shaped me into the person I am today. And of course, I have to thank all the faculty and staff who have helped me along my journey these past 4 years. When I sat down to figure out what I wanted my speech to be about, I began to think about how far we have come and what is yet to come. I began to think about just how we will make our mark on this world. We're getting to the age where we don't have a choice. We will impact the world, either through our action or through our inaction. So how will we, the class of 2022, make our mark on this world? And what mark will that be? In a world where pandemics, mass shootings, genocides, and the threat of nuclear war have become commonplace, there are 3 things our generation needs if we hope to change the status quo. The first is fearlessness. Not the type of fearlessness that is willing to fight constant battles or take sides with little to no thought. We need the type of fearlessness that prevents us from burying our heads in the sand, the type that allows us to take our own stances and pave our own paths. This world has enough courageous fools. Bravery without a cause is worse than useless. It's dangerous. So we need not only fearlessness, but also intelligence. I don't mean the kind of intelligence indicated by GPA or an IQ test. I'm talking about true intelligence, the ability to come up with new solutions to old problems, prioritize, and not fall for easy deceptions. As engineering students, we have been taught these skills for the past 4 years, so we don't have any excuses. Every one of us is capable of being level-headed and open-minded. No 2 brains are exactly alike, but they are all unfathomably important. I, for instance, am a fast learner, but a terribly slow thinker. I'm always prepared, so I have little experience with improvisation. A world full of me's would be slower than Congress and lacking in appreciation for less than practical things. Try to imagine that. It's not pretty. On the other hand, Abigail Hayes can write a 20-page report the night it's due, and Felicity Gonzalez is one of those unique creatures who enjoys and excels at both engineering and business, as opposed to the rest of us normal engineers who avoid entrepreneurship like it's the plague. See, intelligence is not just the ability to absorb information, write an essay, solve a physics problem. The fact that we're all graduating with engineering degrees proves that we're book smart. And being book smart has its perks, for sure, but it does not begin to account for the broad scope of intelligence. So let me be clear. When I say that we all need intelligence, I'm not encouraging all of you to be book smart. I'm encouraging you to be more than that. Each and every brain here is beautiful. Don't ever feel like you need to be successful, smart, or any other glittery yet empty term we are taught to covet. Be you, but be the best you that you can be. Find your own talents and use them to make the world a better place. Use that amazing intelligence of yours to find ways to do what you love, what will give you a sense of fulfillment. The third thing we need is kindness, because you can be fearless and intelligent, but without kindness and compassion, selfish goals often consume one's focus. I won't say follow your heart, because our hearts can lead us astray. Instead, follow your internal compass. Picture the best version of yourself you can imagine, and strive every day to become that person. And remember, true happiness comes from serving others. In fact, in a world rife with anger, finger-pointing, and petty grievances, our greatest strength is our humanity. Our greatest tool, our ability to forgive. We must never forget that. And as we leave, some of us are leaving as though we are rockets, waiting to be launched far away, counting down the time until departure. And some of us are more like children, clinging to our parents' leg, afraid of what comes next. But we will all be okay, more than okay. I'm excited to see what the future holds in store for this class of 2022. I've had the privilege of getting to know a lot of you, and it truly has been a privilege. But I will not lie and say any of us are anywhere close to perfect. We have a lot of room for growth, but you know what? We have a lot of capacity for growth. In fact, more than your missteps and even your accomplishments, I see your potential. I see such courage, intelligence, and compassion in the people sitting here in front of me today, and it fills my heart with pride. Together, we can change the world. The question is, will we? Thank you.
Thank you for those wise and kind words, Cassie. Our graduate student speaker today is Prosper Mahakanya. Today he receives a Master's of Environmental Engineering degree. He is originally from Johannesburg, South Africa, and he has experience working in bulk water conveyance and irrigation design and management. In addition to this, he's also passionate about classical music. While working on his graduate program in vocal performance at SMU's Meadow School of the Arts, He enjoyed numerous successful performances with the Dallas Opera and the Fort Worth Opera. Following graduation, he hopes to work in engineering in the DFW area and eventually pursue a PhD in civil and environmental engineering. Prosper.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm deeply humbled and I'm truly grateful for the honor of addressing you at this podium this evening. If my grandmother were here today, she would say, "This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." I know I not only speak for myself when I say, a wonderful day it is indeed, and let us rejoice in it. I am thankful for the Lord for making this day possible. Like Cassie said, I too have a long list of people to whom I owe a great deal of gratitude, and for which no combination of words can express. However, I don't think my fellow graduating students here would love to sit around and wait while I count each and every one of the people that I'm grateful to. So I will take a concise approach. My family, friends, colleagues, thank you. This journey would not have been possible without you. Professor Barbara Hillmore and Mr. Lee Andrew Moore, I appreciate your kindness and guidance over the years. Dean Christensen, Dean Quick, Dean Holland, Dr. Barbara Minsker, and Dr. Easton, you are all the real MVPs, and I am grateful for everything that you have done thus far. You rooted for me before you even met me and found solutions amidst the bleakest of situations. I imagine you do the same for countless others, and I'm sure they would agree that we all are and were in good hands. What you see here before you today are the fruits of your work and dedication. SMU Bobby B. Lyle faculty and staff, my heart goes out to you for putting up with me and all of us and helping to make this dream a reality. Finally, SMU International Students and Scholar Services, for your unparalleled support and guidance. Thank you. Writing a speech can be such a drag, considering how one hopes to be inspirational and motivating. And following an act like Cassie doesn't make it any easy. It is needless to point out that the caliber of audience here tonight is rather intimidating. But that said, I do acknowledge that this is not a contest, so I shall take a detour and opt to give you a little bit of the story of my journey to SMU. In the fall of 2018, I enrolled at Southern Methodist University's Meadows School of the Arts. Strangely, if one had told me in January of the very same year that I would be studying at such an esteemed institution, I would probably have laughed at the ridiculousness, because in that very moment, that would have resembled an impossible dream. It was not due to the lack of faith or believing in myself, but it was simply an impossible dream, given the circumstances. Sadly, that is a situation that is quite synonymous with the African child. Furthermore, getting a master's degree at SMU Lyle was even further out of reach. I had just resigned from my job as a high school physical science and mathematics teacher in December of 2017. The intention was to start a farming business on the first day of the year 2018. This was a desperate plan to make something out of myself, having graduated 2 years prior with no prospect of jobs within my field of study. I had gone into teaching as a means of gathering resources for my farming business startup, as well as supporting my music career. I was passionate about opera and was just too stubborn to give it up. despite it not being a worthy career path, especially in most African contexts. A fortnight into my farming business, I was lucky enough to be announced as one of the semi-finalists to the prestigious 6th University of South Africa International Voice Competition. And 2 weeks later, I was on the competition stage singing my heart out. It just so happened that Professor Barbara Hill-Moore from Meadows School of the Arts was on the adjudication panel for that competition, and that proved to be my missing piece of the puzzle. At the time, I did not know why she noticed me and why she took such an interest in me. After all, I was just a mere participant in the competition, never mind one that never made it through to the final rounds. But later, I would become her student. The story of how I came to be her student is rather long, but the gist is that opportunity avails itself in various ways, and it is important to be prepared when opportunity arises. Due to my attitude of not being willing to quit, I had managed to somehow place myself in the path of opportunity, and today is a result of that preparedness. As Cassie said, no two brains are exactly alike. Also true is the fact that no two paths in life are exactly alike. Quite often, we succumb to the pressure of comparing ourselves to our peers. We see what seems to be success and wonder, what is it that we are doing wrong? Why can't we ourselves succeed as our peers do? And then, while we are looking at it in that way, we then gravitate towards searching for our success along similar avenues and forget that our definitions of success are not similar to begin with. We also forget that we are not all meant to succeed by following the same path or similar paths. Yet, if we take a step back and reevaluate and think critically, we would realize that each one of us is a pioneer capable of making a difference in this world. We would realize that within each one of us is bestowed a purpose and a path to success. The only difference is some of us find it earlier in life, some find it later in life, and the unlucky ones never find it at all. This, in part, is because we spend so much time trying to follow paths that are not meant for us because they seem to lead to success. My wish for each one of you graduating here today is that you manage to find the path that is meant for you sooner than later. The pandemic took us all by surprise, and though it has wreaked havoc in the last 2 years and counting, we have adapted to living with it, and sooner or later, we will triumph over it. For me, it brought about the opportunity to be a Lyle student. It was not an easy road, but one that I am grateful for and all the lessons that it brought with it. To some extent, it brought the best out of humanity by elevating compassion to whole new levels. To each of you graduating here today, I tip my hat. You have made it. We have made it. Impossible as it may have seemed, we have proved that it is possible because we had the courage to try. As the saying goes, courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to proceed despite the fear. To that I say, let us not allow ourselves to be crippled by fear so much that we fail to try. Let us not see failure as a result, but as part of the journey to success. Let us realize that the only true failure in life is the failure to try in the first place. Let us go out into the world and be fearless. Let us go out into the world and make a difference. Let us go and play our part in making the world a better place for us and for future generations. We are engineers. We are problem solvers. We're innovators, and we strive to reach new frontiers. After all, this is SMU, and world changers are shaped here. Thank you, and congratulations, SMU Bobby B. Lyle School of Engineering, class of 2022. Pani up.
Cassie and Prosper, thank you so much for those thoughtful words. You are headed off in a wonderful trajectory. We are so proud of you. We can't wait to see what you're going to do next. Well, today is a very special day for all of us who have the privilege of teaching these outstanding students and new graduates that we have before us. Now is the chance to let me formally welcome all of you to your graduation. Will all earning degrees here today please stand and be recognized? Go ahead and be seated. You know, this is also a much anticipated day for the families of these graduates. Parents, you've no doubt dreamed of this day since your student was born. So we'd like to have all of the loved ones and families of the graduates, please go ahead and stand up. And graduates, give your loved ones a round of applause. Go ahead and have a seat.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay. Good afternoon. I've been asked to introduce the commencement speaker. Most of you in the room, I think, know who the commencement speaker is. If you don't, you're about to. I'm tempted to say that our speaker needs no introduction, and that would certainly be true, especially for the Lyle students. But I'm not going to do that. I'm also thinking that it would be simple to simply ask each of you to pull out your phones and look him up on Google. If I did that, you'd be very impressed with his credentials as a student, as an entrepreneur, as an electrical engineer, as an electrical engineering faculty member, chair of the electrical engineering department, a leading researcher in photonics and computational imaging, and an engineering school dean. And I do hope you'll Google him later, not now. Not at least, not this moment. But what I am about to do is to tell you just a little bit about my friend, Mark Christensen. Interestingly, he never thought that he would go to graduate school, never thought about getting a PhD, and to go on to be an engineering school dean, let alone a university president. You see, when he completed his degree, his BS degree in engineering physics at Cornell University, he was like many of us who find themselves in that position. He was loaded up with debt, and that meant that he had to do one thing, and that was go to work as quickly as he could, raise as much money, earn as much money as he could, and pay off his debts. He worked in the defense industry, designing shoebox-sized widgets for the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, known to many of you as DARPA. Little did he know that that experience would lead to a relationship with DARPA that spanned many, many years, during which he was identified as one of the agency's rising stars in microsystems research. And subsequently, that relationship helped him to attract approximately $22 million in funded research during his 20 years at SMU, making him one of the most prolific researchers in the history of the university. But lest you think that Mark could only be interested or would only be interested in research and research and more research, rest assured that Mark is also an excellent teacher, gathering praise from his students as well as his faculty colleagues, and collecting over the years esteemed university teaching awards in recognition of his excellent work in the classroom. And in keeping with the philosophy in the Lyle School that says we want our students and faculty to not only just talk the talk, but understand how to walk the walk as well, Mark co-founded a tech company, startup company, and experienced in real time what it means to move from theory to practice. But as attractive and challenging as the entrepreneurial itch was for Mark, there was one other thing, another passion that was pulling at his shirt sleeve, and that was teaching. And fortunately, especially for those of us in this assembly, he decided to come to Dallas and has devoted the past 20 years helping build an engineering school at SMU that is unlike any in the country. From the very beginning, Mark was a key member of the strategic planning team that designed a holistic engineering curriculum that attracted the attention of the National Engineering and Science Academies, as well as other distinguished engineering schools around the country. He committed his time and energy to the program designed to develop graduates like you who are ready to go and live up to the SMU aspiration of being world changers. As dean for the past decade, Mark recently led an update of that strategic plan to ensure the continuity along a continuum that will result in achievements that will make us all extremely proud and make the value of your degree from the Lyle School more valuable than it is today. But there are downsides to that, downsides to his accomplishments. Mark's success as a leader has not gone unnoticed off campus as well as across the campus at home. Such is the nature of university life. Whenever leaders like Mark come along, they're immediately in high demand to apply those leadership skills at the next level and the next level and the next level. In Mark's case, the natural next level is as a university president. So when Clarkston University in Potsdam, New York, found itself in need of a new president, Mark received that call that all university presidents, including President Turner, long to get but hate to get when it comes. the call asking if Mark would consider accepting the presidency at Clarkston University. His answer was not immediate, but after careful consideration, he and Seema decided to take the challenge to become the 17th president and first lady of that fine institution. And they will be moving to Potsdam later this summer. So not only today are we going to hear from one of the finest engineering deans in the country, we're also going to hear the very first formal address from the new president-elect of Clarkston University. All of us in the Lyle School are sad. I was especially saddened to hear that Mark was departing. But we're so incredibly proud of him and happy for the opportunities that lie ahead. Having worked closely with Mark, especially over the past decade, I know from personal experience what a great leader he is. And I can hardly wait to see what's about to happen at Clarkston. So Lyle graduates, faculty, parents, other family members, and friends, please welcome to the podium our commencement speaker, the Dean of the Lyle School of Engineering and President-elect of Clarkston University, Mark Christensen.
I guess that's what you find out when you Google me. My daughters have been always telling me to try. Frankly, I feel ill-equipped to be a graduation speaker. As I reflect on my life, it seems only yesterday I was seated out there like you at my own graduation. And today I find myself, as I expect some of you are, reflecting nostalgically about my time, really, here at SMU. What you may not have perceived as a student is that there's a rhythm to life at a university. It's periodic. New students arrive on campus every fall, full of energy and hope, and that energy gets transformed into knowledge over the course of 4 years. Then one day, before you know it, you find yourself sitting at your own graduation. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event for you. But when you work on a university campus, like the faculty and staff that are so privileged to have helped you along the way, it blurs together. You might even begin to feel routine, a constant flow of seemingly countless, endless events. Frankly, that's what's been on my mind as I think about my departure from this incredible place. As engineers, we are trained in mathematics, but also in real-world problem solving. Our mathematics training teaches us the power of considering limiting cases. What happens when this term goes to 0? When that term goes to infinity? We even concern ourselves with what happens when a term goes to 1. All of these limits inform us about the behavior of an equation. And we become accustomed to thinking about things in terms of zeros, ones, and infinities. We're really vigilant at looking out for those zeros, ones, and infinities, those special numbers. We're comforted by them. We like to see them. They inform us about how things work, and they abound. Life is full of transitions from 0 to 1. The moment you took your first steps, the moment you spoke your first words, the first time you fell in love, being hired for your first job. Even today, as you're being presented with the degree that you've earned, we spend so much of our time looking forward to those transitions, life's many firsts, especially those that may only ever happen once. But what about all those moments in between? The transitions that happen from 0 to 1, these routine moments. They're full of unremarkable things if they're only considered for their lack of uniqueness, simply because they're not firsts or milestones in our lives. They often mistakenly get relegated into the category of the commonplace, something I'm going to call the bucket of infinity. What I find myself thinking about these days is the fact that it's folly to mindlessly relegate everyday moments like this to the bucket of infinity. To do so necessarily makes them seem more common than they truly are, and therefore artificially devalues them. In my 10 years as dean, I've presided over 10 graduations, comprising 238 doctoral students, 3,577 master's students, and 2,004 undergraduate students. That's a total of 5,819 students that I've had the privilege of standing up here and watching graduate. You'd never mistake any of those numbers for infinity. So what should we make of these occurrences that happen, these middle time values? Something like 10 or even 5,819. Is it fine to focus on life's unique moments, the 0 to 1s? Isn't that where all the important stuff happens? Well, like many of life's lessons, we can turn to fairy tales for the answers. Some of you might know the tale of Peter and the magic string. In it, Peter is gifted a silver sphere with a string sticking out. The string is magically connected to Peter's life. If he should want to fast forward his life past some dull or dreary moment while you're up all night studying for some exam, he need only pull on the string, and a moment later, his story will advance to some other point in his life. And like all antagonists in stories retold, he is unable to resist the temptation of pulling on that string. And he finds himself longing for the moments of some important future event, one of our 0 to 1 moments. His engagement, his wedding, the birth of his children. Ultimately, Peter uses this special power quickly to get to the very best parts of his life, fast forwarding through much of what's in the middle. As an old man nearing the end of his life, after only actually having experienced a few months of it, he realizes that life isn't about these landmark moments. In his rush past the seemingly infinite middle, he'd run out of life, never experiencing the vast majority of what it was to truly live. Well, here's the good news for you. You have been trained as engineers not only to consider the limits as important, but you've been trained to solve real-world problems. The solutions we recommend are far more likely to be carefully balanced optimums based on real-world constraints than they are to be limits in the extreme. If this weren't the case, then my civil engineers would design bridges that were a mile thick with steel for reinforced concrete, and the mechanical and electrical engineers might design air conditioning that could take your home down near to absolute zero. Might not be a bad idea on a day like today. However, even though as engineers we understand the extremes, we optimize and we solve for the middle. If you only remember one thing from my speech today, remember this. We should focus on the middle because the middle matters. It may not be as intellectually interesting a limiting case, but it's where solutions to real-world problems exist, and it's where real life exists. So my challenge to you is to be mindful. Recognize that everyday events that may have slipped by are being relegated to that infinity bucket. I am overjoyed to be experiencing this graduation with you, even though, as a school, we do it every year. In the grand scheme of things, even every one of those every-year events is something that we only get to do a couple dozen times. Simply put, we are not infinite, so we should not pay attention. No, we are not infinite, so we should pay attention to every countable moment we can. You're the lucky ones. You've been trained as exceptional engineers. You're aware of the limits, but you understand the importance of everything in the middle. Now, go live your optimized life and enjoy every moment of the ride, especially the middle. Now we've reached the point in the ceremony that you have all been waiting for. Will the marshals please escort the candidates to the stage? I am pleased to bring forward to the podium Dr. Vulcan Ottigan, who will help us recognize the 2022 Lyle School of Engineering doctoral degree recipients.
Our students upon whom the doctorate degrees were conferred have received their diplomas and have been hooded in the ceremony this morning. However, we would like to meet them in person and congratulate them ourselves. Students receiving the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Engineering, please come forward to be recognized and hooded by your advisor. Say your name. Khalid Al-Sirhani, Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical Engineering. Dissertation title, High Gain and Wide Bandwidth Dielectric Resonator Antennas Fed by Two Different Excitation Techniques. Advisor Chunsei Lee.
Is this live?
You can go on.
All right.
Freddy Castillo, the second. Degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical Engineering. Dissertation titled, First Order Enhanced Coupling Strength Gratings for Laser Electro-Absorption Modulation Transmitters. Advisor Gary Evans. You can take this as a memento. Mariam Desfouli, degree is Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical Engineering. Dissertation title, Second Order Enhanced Coupling Strength Grating Out of Couplers for Monolithic Laser Electro-Absorption Modulators. Again, advisor is Gary Evans. Matthew Galla, Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering. Dissertation titled, Design and Nonlinear Control of Haptic Glove for Virtual Palpation. Advisor, Edmund Ricker. Either way. Okay. Zhang Li, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Dissertation title, Equity of Urban Neighborhood Infrastructure, a Data-Driven Assessment. Advisor, Barbara Minsker. Septide Lotfi, Doctor of Philosophy in Civil and Environmental Engineering. Dissertation titled, Modeling Framework and Solution Methodologies for On-Demand Mobility Services with Ride-Sharing and Transfer Options. Advisor, Khaled Abdelghani. Thank you. Leonid Popok, Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science. Dissertation titled, Illumi-Core, Efficient Resource Allocation to Minimize Communication Network Latency. Advisor, Suku Nair. This time it's good. Congratulations. Hang in here. Eli Salame, Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering. Dissertation titled, Optical Microresonator-Based Flow Speed Sensor. Advisor, me. Volkanut again. All right, very good. Yes. Here. One more, please. Thank you. Thank you. Laura Wu, Doctor of Engineering in Engineering Management, dissertation title, Value-Oriented Business Process Management, using a process re-engineering approach to identify productivity improvement requirements and justify strategic capital investments. Advisor Eli Olenek. Thank you. Xiaoliang Wang, Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical Engineering, dissertation title, Closed-Loop Brain-Computer Interfaces for Memory Restoration Using Deep Brain Stimulation. Advisor Carlos Davila.
Well, let's please extend one last round of applause to our newest Lyle doctoral degree candidates. Thank you, Dr. Ottigan. As is our tradition. No. Well, you come back.
Do I read it from yours or mine? Dean Christensen, the candidates for the bachelor's and master's degrees from the Lyle School of Engineering are presented at this time to be recognized.
Candidates for undergraduate and graduate degrees in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, please stand and be recognized.
Candidates for undergraduate and graduate degrees in the Department of Computer Science, please stand and be recognized.
Candidates for undergraduate and graduate degrees from the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, please stand and be recognized.
Candidates for the undergraduate and graduate degrees in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, please stand and be recognized.
Candidates for graduate and undergraduate degrees in the Department of Operations Research and Engineering Management, please stand and be recognized.
Graduates in the degree of Design and Innovation, please stand up and be recognized.
Candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Data Center Systems Engineering and Master of Science in Data Engineering, please stand and be recognized. Marshals, please bring the graduates forward to be recognized.
Thank you, Dr. Ottigan. As is our tradition, we will ask the Lyle School of Engineering standard bearer to be the first recognized, and in doing so, symbolically lead the 2022 graduating class across the stage and into their future. To introduce the 2022 Standard Bearer, let me invite Misty Compton to the podium.
I would now like to ask the Lyle School of Engineering Standard Bearer, Cassandra Hammond, to please come forward and be recognized. Cassandra Hammond, summa cum laude. I would now like to recognize Prosper Macanya. Prosper Macanya. I would now like to recognize graduates from the Civil and Environmental Engineering Department.
I would now like to recognize graduates from the Computer Science Department.
Jack Aieo.
Austin Abraham. Thank you.
Sheikha Aldawish.
Travis Armistead.
Dominic Carolo.
Grant Ayers.
Hamad Chaudhry.
John Babcock.
Kent Donzi.
Jacob Barcelona.
Sally Easley.
Amanda Bermel.
Audrey Epperly.
Papriya Bouillon.
Victor Francisco.
Joseph Bongar.
Ana Gonzalez Alvarez.
Andrew Burkitch.
Rachel Hutchinson.
Jennifer Carballo.
Sofia Lara Carrillo.
Hayden Center.
Francisco Leon.
Corey Clemens.
Maya Mercad.
Jared Cox.
Madeline Mirza.
Michael Kuzo.
Marissa Nieto.
Adam Zarnick.
Michael Rodmers.
John Davenport.
Avery Smotherman.
Grace Dillingham.
Samuel Snyder.
William Dunn.
Gracia Soto Ponce.
Corey Ellis.
Christopher Staley.
Riley Galante.
Hannah Waldecker.
Thomas Grime.
Antonio Williamson, magna cum laude.
Luis Garduno.
Juan Gomez.
Abby Gwynn.
Alejandra Hinojosa.
Andrew
Hinojosa.
Havard.
Holly McQuinston.
Maria Heredia.
Matthew Meals.
Lauren Horton.
Julia Nolan.
James Huang.
Eric Von Blumen Wonders.
Manu John.
Zhaori Wang.
Isaac Joseph.
Kuo Yao.
Kevin Cow.
This concludes recognition of graduates from the Civil Environmental Engineering Department.
Kyle Kawaje.
I would now like to recognize graduates from the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department. Elliot Boish.
Sage Costanzar.
Maximilian Dennis, magna cum laude.
Henry Lamson.
Gabriela DeLiegro, magna cum laude.
Alec Lebiga.
James Gassner, summa cum laude, honors in the liberal arts.
Hunjae Lee.
Audrey Lawrence.
Stand by.
Cade Lehman.
Felicity Gonzalez, cum laude.
Ryan Madliner.
Benjamin Moore.
Troy McNitt.
Aiden Murphy.
Alexander Meach.
Dalia Quezada Campos.
Andrew Mayland.
Peyton Price.
Kyle Mistely.
Rashami Dotargoan.
Kirubal Moyes.
Cameron Matson.
Mitchell Morrison.
Farquan Parupia.
Prince Needloyu.
Carlos Vizcanio.
Isaiah Patterson.
I would now like to recognize graduates from the Operations and Research Engineering Management Department. Sahana Tayab.
Brian Pattinson.
Emily Archie D. Sono.
Alex Preston.
Patrick Baldon, summa cum laude.
Brigitta Pullins.
Daniela Castillo LaGuardia.
Nico Radovan.
Frankie Kukachera.
Randolph Rankin.
Jessica Dom.
Isaac Rose.
Daniela D. Josa.
Eli Segovoya.
Jillian Deaver.
Pravik Turola.
Abigail DeCourson.
Kirk Thomas.
Alex D. Trimp.
William Thompson.
Emily Ebel.
Sam Walsh.
Zoe Friedman.
Anthony Wang.
Caitlin Hatfield.
Jacob Weems.
Tree Ho.
Jason Worth.
Ashley Huddleston.
Nathaniel Wesley.
Anna Iorio.
Brandon Wheelis.
Hannah Kohler, honors in the liberal arts.
Zachariah Wolf.
Noah Kelbs.
Christopher Wood.
Anna Leon Ottman.
Richard Rentz.
Margaret Lipsit.
Bella Shu.
Sydney Lobato, summa cum laude. Kyle
Zuan.
Liu.
Zuan Zhai.
Sean McQuarrie.
Jai Zhu.
Elizabeth McPherson.
Jay Barconi.
Mariana Midolo.
Matthew Bartos.
Emma Morgan.
Naomi Beltrand.
Catherine Moser, summa cum laude.
Austin Cantor.
Devin Seek.
Nicholas Crothers.
Melissa Serrano.
Renee Diaz.
Joshua Smartenko.
Aaron Edwards.
Kristen Smith.
Chris Hard.
Isabella Stoika.
Nathaniel Heights.
Annalise Sumpan.
Yafan Hu.
Maddie Tedrow.
Deepika Kaur. Matthew Lee. Moon Yan Lee.
John Tomaselli.
Liam Lousley Williams.
Braden Watkins.
Benson Matthew.
Reed Williams.
Hong Yu Miao.
Alejandro Saldivar.
Harrison Noble.
Olotumiwa Ayibusi.
Raji Nair.
Brian Andrews.
Ethan Pothoff.
Christopher Beard.
Sai Rajendra.
Armando Bernard Valderrama.
Nathan Srirama.
Elijah Blakemore.
Joshua Sylvester.
Madeline Caracappa.
Troy Walker.
Angel Castrellon.
Braden Wallace.
Michael Chow.
How do I pronounce your name? Yihing On. This concludes the recognition of graduates from the Computer Science Department. I would now like to recognize graduates from the Mechanical Engineering Department.
Rebecca Covey.
Eric Braun.
Evan Daniels.
Blair Boucher.
Eloy DeRoss.
Jewel Burleson.
Alicia DeCall.
Samuel Cantu.
Francis Din.
Adelaide Kaplinger.
Angela Duran.
Morgan Castleberry.
Lauren Ennis.
Sam Dunzee.
Aaron Garcia.
Patrick Dooley.
Danielle Fonsi.
Matt Dykes.
Colton Garner.
Abigail Hayes.
Christina Guiertes Caban.
Samantha Heights.
Megan Hughes.
Kayla Horton.
Devon Jackson.
Ryan Kiss.
Denison Yako Mieni.
Mauricio Lara Orbezo Lira.
Benjamin Joseph.
Gavin McManus.
Jennifer Johnson.
Andrew Kobata.
George Judkins.
Carson Little.
Peter Kim.
Alyssa Marciano.
Suchin Kul Carney.
Max Nelson.
Wyatt Langston.
Sophia Paolo.
Adrian Leos.
Stephanie Rakoff.
Nicholas Maxwell.
James Mosley.
Cedric Mays.
Max Stasio.
Jory McVeigh.
Thomas Nolan.
Jen Tao May.
Zachary Kiros. Samantha Streb, cum laude, honors in the arts.
Avery Mercurio. Andrew Mulhausen.
Mitchell Schmeck, magna cum laude, honors in liberal arts.
Eric Munoz.
Maria Tinker.
Tu Nguyen.
Kyle Singletary.
Noble Nwankwo.
Zachary Toot.
Parker Pennington.
Caroline Stewart.
Miranda Fierro.
Marcus Sikora, magna cum laude.
Benjamin Saldivar.
Ryan Tolsch.
Jacob Thompson.
Sydney Ward, honors in liberal arts.
Victor Trujillo Jr.
Annika Wolf.
Alexander Winter.
Grant McDonald, summa cum laude, honors in liberal arts.
Kramer Young.
Wanhee Shen.
Celeste Zenkner.
Levi Allen, cum laude.
Amber Zool.
Laura Bell.
This concludes the recognition of graduates from the Operations, Research, and Engineering Management Department.
Faith Evans. Yes. How do I spell your last name? Nicole Freer. Sean Gokasian. Mallory Gibson. Matthew Grant. Kevin Human. Richie Coconut. Chase Hoover. John Kuykendall. Matt Lindgren. Matthew Lowick. Reese Miller. Trevor Mosty. Hilton Wynn. Drew Nolan. Mallory Norman. Garen Polson. Ryan Purdy. Anna Puderbaugh. Brianna Quinones. Derek Riddle. Garrett Sheik. Cole Sheridan. Landon Simonson. Joshua Smith. Emily Snyder. David Stark. Andrew Steed. Evan Stewart. Charles Theory. Andy Tran. This concludes the recognition of graduates from the Mechanical Engineering Department. I would now like to recognize graduates from our multidisciplinary programs. This includes students receiving master's degrees in Design and Innovation and Data Engineering. Ramisa Farouk. Jessica Donnelly Goodwin. Caroline Harms. Emily Hughes Armour. Lee Jung Emily Lee. This concludes the recognition of graduates for our multidisciplinary programs.
Dean Christensen, this concludes the recognition of the baccalaureate and master's degrees candidates from the Lyle School of Engineering.
Ladies and gentlemen, families and students, please join with me in applauding SMU's newest Lyle School of Engineering alumni. This concludes our 2022 commencement ceremony. We ask that you please remain seated until the recessional is completed. When all graduates have cleared the Coliseum floor, then you may exit the Coliseum. Thank you.